that 9 women can deliver 1 child in 1 month. So just gave us only 6 minutes to share with you this spotlight we could manage within the team to implement within these 6 months. A little bit about the organization. The FinCA Bank Georgia is the member of the global financial provider with its network of 20 microfinance and banks all over the world, providing the responsible financial services to the people with low income, small entrepreneurs and farmers. FinCA Bank Georgia was established in 1998 and we received the banking license in just 2013. We have 35 branches and we serve just all over 100,000 customers, out of which 20,000 are farmers, small entrepreneurs, mostly representing from the rural areas. But I think this slide is not working. Yes, okay. So, as mentioned, we are facing the challenge to reach out the customers who have lack of experience of formal borrowing history, and we try to give these people the opportunity to increase their business. FinCA Bank Georgia has 50 agents assigned to the 105 agri stores, where directly our customers can purchase the equipment, food, pesticides, fertilizers, all necessary equipment and items they need for the business growth using the cashless credit products provided by the company. I would like to thank ADB for the opportunity to come here and present this spotlight of the projects, 2 pilot projects we started in early 2019. This is very important to mention that we spoke a lot about the standards and international and local requirements, and we are proud to say that the FinCA Bank Georgia was the first Georgian bank obtaining the Smart Campaign certificate, and we passed one more time the auditing, proving that to provide responsible banking services to local communities. The overall objective of the pilot project, digital field application and the credit scoring, is to leverage digitization and mobile financial services to bring faster and reliable loan approval process to the communities in the rural areas. Our credit loan officers conduct field visits where there is very low internet connectivity. So we had to face this challenge and have both online and offline opportunity for the staff to finalize the loan approval process. The baseline figures is really difficult to improve, but we are very confident to double decrease the average cost and duration of the loan approval process. Of course, we could do it with the confident, committed local partners, and one of the outcome of this pilot project is to enhance the local capacity of the service providers, because not only FinCA Bank, but we're sure that other institutions will benefit from having the less expensive financial solutions to encourage the inclusion of the farmers into the financial services. So within the 6 months, we developed one scorecard with 10 variables and one strategy design, because this is a challenge that before we didn't have any IT solution to gather the sufficient data, and data is very important for the scorecard. And in parallel, we developed the digital field application process. In total, you see that we have 3 calls. The first time, the purpose of the call is to filter out the customers with a bad internal and external credit history and those who do not meet the criteria. And the second call is to adjust the interest rate, and we will offer detailed pricing. And the third call is to finalize the approval process. So all the automated system enabled us entrepreneurs in their business places to deliver the respond whether they are eligible or not to take the loan for the business improvement. Most important is that this solution is a SaaS solution and is designed so that the bank does not depend a lot on the vendor, and all the changes, all the new requirements is conducted on our side. We can build the application form, we can use the hard and software validation to minimize the risks and to ensure that all the product requirements, international and local requirements, are considered. So this time is really freed up for the loan officers to conduct sufficient interview. And how we can do this? Because we have integration with the third parties, with almost all the governmental organizations providing the public information about the customer, kind of national registry, public registry, tax registry. So we have in a couple of seconds all this information, and we can provide the financial assessment at the location, on the business location. And this ensures us to increase the legacy of the input data for the agreements, which is also automatically generated at the same place while doing the interview with the customer outside of the bank premises, and finalize all the requirements at the spot. The mobile application gives this opportunity, as I mentioned, and if there is no internet connectivity, the loan officer can finalize obtaining all the information from the customer, and as soon as internet connectivity is appropriate for the loan officer, all this data is synchronized in the credit scoring and etc. on the third parties, and we can quickly return to the farmer's place and provide final response to the customer. And this is the just a screenshot of how we can include this innovation, which is about AgroCard. And this is the roughing up all the standards for the income and expenditures in the agriculture business, and we can provide the tailored cost for the product based on the agro product and regions, because it differs and it considers all the possible risks in the business. And at the end, we believe that the old-fashioned, highly labor-intensive loan approval process is just very slow, expensive, unreliable. And with this new technology, we implemented with our partners, promise a new pathway for the financial inclusion. Thank you very much.
I think she did well, right? It's tough. But 20 slides in 20 seconds each. And only you had how much time? 2 weeks to prepare? You were very generous. Okay, so 2 questions. I think I have them also on the app here. What did Finca learn from its some failed projects in Africa for the implementation in Asia? Okay, so let's maybe do a more easy one. Will Finca open here in the Philippines? Because a lot of colleagues from the Philippines.
As a project manager.
Okay. How much does it cost? Maybe that's...
Cost?
Yes. So, Finca, impressive project. How much dollar did it cost?
Okay, the digital field application is about 150,000 USD.
What is the Gini score of your model? You know that?
56.
That's very quick. Eh? So, and what else do we have? Okay, how does Finca determine the cash flow of micro-entrepreneurs using technology? The first one, up.
How does Finca determine the cash flow? Oh yes, it was really a challenge, especially when the organization before was used to manage these business processes by the men. I mean, for the certain cases, they were capable to decide, to make decisions, and we started to standardize all the bad and good practices, and started to teach all these experiences to this system, and we standardized this according to all possible scenarios which bank had encouraged and considered. Of course, definitely the smart camping and national bank authorities requirements in line with the local markets demand.
So please give a hand to Nino. And you know how she looks like, so if you have more questions, we have a long lunch. Yes. So now we're going over to an example from P&G. So he's head of mobile banking at the nationwide microbank, also MyBank. He's a key driver of rural development and digital financial services, and he also has worked with a number of other banks before. So ladies and gentlemen, our second presenter, and he had, I think, 1 week to prepare. We were getting more and more generous. Trudy Iggy. So just wait. So please don't start, right? Let him wait.
Thank you, Trudy Iggy. In fact, the technology I'll be talking about is more to do with the digital ID. But we came up with a name, Digital Access Tool, because we're thinking that it's not only for an ID purpose, but can also do other things also. That's my country, Papua New Guinea. Share borders with Indonesia and also Australia to the south. 16 persons per square kilometers is, we have about 7.6 million. You can get this information off from the GSMA website, or you can also go to the P&G website and get that. We are a bank with 150 staff, 10 branches located all throughout the country. We have not actually covered the entire country, but we have decided to go mobile, using mobile money and mobile technology to do our business. So that is actually taken off from the customers or the subscribers app, and it gives a location of the branches all throughout the country. Similarly, we also have the agents also registered on the app also. So besides providing cash in, cash out services, we also provide micro insurance and micro pension on the same app, and also Solar Pay Go that is paid through the app. So agents, you can see, are located in many parts of the country. Some of them are not next to a branch. They operate remotely. But we also have this issue of trying to get new agents on board, and also agents disappear after they have probably paid off some customary obligation and decided to close business, which is a challenge in Papua New Guinea. The central bank has signed up with the Maya Declaration with Papua New Guinea, and they have been very supportive in us going out to rural areas to provide financial inclusion, such as financial literacy and all those services. As you can see, there's a lot of challenges we still face. This is where the rain fell and the road is under construction. And whilst you can have all the features on a mobile phone, but you still need access to customers. And those customers are very difficult to reach in areas like this. This village is lucky because it's located next to the P&G LNG gas site, but there are others in other parts of the country which are very difficult to reach. Challenges is remote cash delivery. This is an example of an agribusiness where they operate in rural areas and the cash is dropped by a chopper on that funnel at the top. So it makes it very convenient for customers to have access to cash. So if you go up to them and ask them, would you like a bank account? They're staring at you with blank faces because they're asking more about the mobile phone than the bank account that I have in my pocket. So we've done an innovation lab in Gorka to especially look at agri-based agent models, and we have partnered with Microsoft. I saw one of their speakers out here this morning. And we decided to choose Gorka, which is up in the highlands, reason being that there's a high concentration of agribusinesses in there. Now, difficulty with KYC, some of these kids will grow up with not proper ID systems and for the rest of their lives. And this is something that we're trying to avoid so that one day these kids should also have an ID system or an access tool that they can use in the villages. Current ID systems, lack of trust. Everyone wants to have their own ID systems, and it's not using proper systems, no proper identification in terms of birth records and so forth, but because they need that so that they can identify themselves to probably find work or get services from a service provider. So they come up with this type of entrepreneurs. I have 3 IDs, and each of these organizations, I can use that ID, but when I want to go over to the next organization, I have to fill out another form. And on my left here is the national ID system, and I have a card here, but I can use it in either a hospital or probably it's just good at getting a passport, but that's about it. I'm trying to use it for others, it cannot be done. So ADB has chosen a pilot digital access tool with MyBank in early 2020, and of course the Sustainable Development Goals is by 2020 provide legal identity for all, including birth registration. And interestingly, there's a question this morning about having 90 million customers, and I think we have an answer for that, which we'll explain. So what is a digital access tool? It's an access tool which is a card that can be used to store information about the person. Not only storing of information about the person, but with the smart cards now coming up, can also be used for possibility of doing a transaction. The guys who are also promoting this are sitting at the back, and they have a lab out there, a booth out there, so if you want questions, you can ask them. And this is just a mobile coverage of the country. Red indicates the areas that are covered, and green indicates the areas that are not covered. So if you have to have a digital access tool, it must also work in areas where there's no mobile coverage or no internet coverage. So once we get the mobile tool in operation, the best way to do it is to engage people within communities, share with them how it's being used, and send them out to the other communities and see if they can be registered on the app. Can either use it in the markets, use it in the hospitals, and so forth. So how does it work? User arrives at a point, gets all the data uploaded using a mobile phone, offline or online, and then gets a card and puts it against the phone, and the information gets transferred across. And that's the card you give to the customer. So wherever they go, they can use the NFC-enabled phones to also read off from the same card. And of course, you can use it for the next level. If you want to access your bank accounts, you can now use a two-factor authentication using the card, and at the same time also using your PIN to access the information, especially from a bank account or probably from a hospital that might be something down the track. So that's how it works. And we have chosen a pilot in Wewak. Why? Because it's further off from the capital, Port Moresby, which is down at the bottom there. And we thought that if we were to try something new, try it in a very remote location. And also there's a lot of people doing agribusiness there, and try it with them. We've opened up a branch there it's a week in operation now, and we've seen customer numbers increase. But basically the woman in the middle with a card can have access to transport services, and most of Papua New Guinea can only be accessed by air or by boat, can have access to hospitals, can have access to education, can have access to the banking system, and basically have access to get the message over to the children so that as they grow up, they can have access to know about what's available in the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Julie. So we have time for 3-4 minutes for questions, and I saw 2-3 questions coming in. Can we see them on the screen? And let's see if you can answer them. But as Julie said, you're not alone here, right? You have some colleagues. Yes. Oh, so there's one outlier with 5 votes. Despite the challenges, are there reasonable returns in this model because of substantive investment in digital infrastructure? Obviously, technology comes at a cost. With innovations that we've done in our banking system, we've also been, for every innovation that we've done, it's about 10,000 US dollars on average. And as a microfinance institution, we don't have that kind of money to pay out, so it's best to work with partners, and this is where we thank ADB for coming on board to assist. And then straight away the next one below, in the rural area you receive cash top up by cash drop in a hopper by a chopper. How do you send excess physical cash? All the excess physical cash is all used up. People get it to go back into towns, and this is one reason why our agents have not been very successful, because we've set them up in remote areas, but they get passed by because people want to go into town for a number of reasons. We visit their relatives
or have access to store goods which are much cheaper than the ones sold at the local canteen, which happens to be the agent also.
So how do you regulate and track your agent? What's the caseload that agent and account officer?
We basically we try to concentrate much of the agents where the branch locations are. But there are instances, because of the service required and because it's use of the mobile phone, we partner with other organizations, and most of the interaction is done over the phone. We do the training over the phone. We do onboarding over remote access using tablets. We try to get partners that are already established within those local communities and try as much as possible to give them as much as information as possible so they can also contain the customers on the other end. It's a bit of a challenge. It's not an easy road to run.
Okay, let's take one last one. So how do you manage the loan and savings collections?
All the loan and savings collections are done using the mobile phone, just a simple cash-in process. All you need to do is go to the agent, make your loan repayments. And just recently, I know that there's an issue with online lending, but we've now set it up in our systems, and it's for the purpose of testing out and whether there's an appetite for it in the market. But all cash-out payments or cash-in payments are done through the agents.
Please give a hand to Trudy. Thank you very much, and you can continue the conversation over lunch. So, last Pecha Kucha presentation. I hope you like the format. He's actually the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Oradian. This is a company that provides disruptive technology to drive financial inclusion. He has more than 20 years experience in the field of technology and online business, and I think 10 years in microfinance. He will share an example from the Philippines. So please welcome Antonio Separovic.
I've got my confidence in my hand, so allow me to read. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for the opportunity. This is my first Pecha Kucha, which I've recently learned means chit-chat. So it is a bit informal, and I hope we can convey the message. I'm Antonio Separovic, the co-founder of Oradian, and I lead a team of 120 specialists. And we focus on financial inclusion. The way we're all here to break down barriers. It's about tackling the 1.7 million unbanked, of which 65% of the population in the Philippines is unbanked. We know the role of financial inclusion, and we accelerated this development by focusing on certain areas of the world. The way we do this, it's a pleasure to be here today to reflect on one of the projects we've done with the ADB. Most recently with the project in Mindanao and Cantonal Bank, implementing the cloud-based core banking system. It's the first to be done for regulated financial institution. And this enables the financial institution to go deeper into hard-to-reach places. What really made this project special is that it's an important project from the BSP, and the BSP set out a policy in 2013. It's taken some time for the market to respond to this policy, and Cantonal has been the first to embrace this and take this paradigm shift. And the ADB played an important role to support the BSP in addressing the impact of the change of policy, both within the regulator as well as the market. Our core banking system is, as you usually expect, has their own savings portfolio, integrated accounting. But we go one step further, where we work with financial institutions and we partner with them, that we build a community and share our know-how. So we're a team of specialists who both provide the technology, but work with the customers on an ongoing basis. So we start by digitizing, then we optimize their processes, and we continue to grow. And that growth part is by forming a community with our customers. In this example, it's one of our users of the core banking system. So what we call our customers, the financial institution. This is a user, and you can see the delight on her face during training. And this is done because we spent a lot of effort into focusing on the UX, making the system incredibly easy to use. And we want to liberate the users from the burden of back office. Why? We want to introduce high tech with high touch. Early on, we heard a little bit about education and technology, but without the high touch component, it's very difficult to deliver on the promise of financial inclusion. And this is recently about other examples